We're not planning on Noah or an Ark this year. Mother Nature owes us one when a street race comes back this summer. Now, we were there live last year. We did the show from there. It was a fabulous setup. I thought the city did an amazing job of pulling it off. And the folks at NASCAR as well. But then this guy Shane comes along. Mm-hmm. And he does something you're not supposed to do. He comes out and it's not his first race, but he was not expected to win. He hangs in, he navigates the swamp, and he manages to win the first Chicago Street Race. Shane Van Gisbergen is here. Welcome to you.
Morning.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How many different ways do people pronounce your last name?
A few, yeah.
Give me a few. Give me a few.
I'd
Van Gisbergen?
I'd just rather be called Shane. It's
just
fine.
Shane.
Yeah.
That's easier that way?
Yeah.
I really like SVG.
Yeah, that's fine
That's
too.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here. Now, I know I was told by somebody the other day, this is the least favorite thing you do, talking to people about you. Is that right?
Yeah, driving is the best part of my job, yeah.
Yeah, and how'd you get into it? How old are you?
So I'm 34 now, and I started in New Zealand when I was 8, racing like speedway, quad bikes, and dirt bikes, stuff like that. So, yeah, and then professionally I moved to Australia when I was 18, and was there until end of last year.
All right, now most 8-year-olds don't drive. Go-karts, the equivalent of what we have as go-karts?
I did a little bit of that, but I wasn't very good, and I didn't like it. I was always too big and slow, so yeah, you got in
So
go-karts.
what are you driving at 8 years old?
It was like speedway cars on dirt. Yeah.
Sounds like the way I grew up, but it was a redneck thing in my world. And when did you know this is what you wanted to do?
Oh, pretty much all my life. Yeah, my dad was a rally car driver, and I just always wanted to be driving cars or doing something. So,
were you a gearhead? Were you wanted to be under the hood? You wanted to see what made it go?
Nah, not really. I'm useless with Spanish.
Just wanted the speed. Just wanted speed. It was all about the speed.
Just driving.
All right, so take us back to last summer. You're in Chicago. One of the things we talked to every driver in a race, I think, at some point, Jen. And and the amazing thing was, how do you guys do this when there are so many great distractions, like the greatest skyline in the world? And I know you're not doing regular NASCAR speeds on this track, but you throw in the monsoon, 7 inches of rain, the phenomenal skyline, the rainbow that came up afterwards. How did you maintain focus?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, this place. I've never been to a city like this before, and we do a few street races where I was racing in Australia, but nothing like this. And yeah, it was a pretty awesome show for the first time NASCAR's ever done it, and it was cool to be a part of the first one. But once you're on track, you're pretty focused on what you're doing, not the buildings and stuff like that. But yeah, the weather was crazy at the start, and then it dried up, and the race was just crazy. We were back and forth all day on the leaderboard, but it was so much action all day.
Yeah, once it dried up, off you went. Maybe you were able to look around when you were in the caution, the yellow. You could kind of slow down and take a peek. What's interesting, I called him a rock star when he walked in because he has an entourage, and you won the first Chicago Street Race, so you are a rock star here in Chicago. Coming back, I know you just got here last night. Will you take a moment today? If you look right out our window, this is the street. This is where it was.
Right down here, my friend.
Right down here. Yeah. Will you take a moment between all the media interviews to drive around and sort of really look at it? Have someone drive you so you can see where you were?
I don't know. I don't know what we got planned today.
I'll toss you my keys. I'll toss you my keys. My car's right downstairs. Take it through.
I mean, don't you think that would be cool?
I'd probably get in trouble if I did that today. So.
yeah, maybe you would, yes.
I don't think so. Even a Chicago cop who stopped him would go, "Hey, Shane, can you sign this?
SVG.
And don't run over any tourists."
Can you go any faster?
Obvious question for most of the rest of us who go 80 on the interstates here is, what's the difference between a regular week on Xfinity or NASCAR and what you guys do in the street race here?
Just mainly it's ovals at the moment. We've done a couple of road races where we turn left and right, but yeah, we only have one street race a year, so it's pretty crazy going to a city where all the people are, and the atmosphere here is just completely different to every other week of racing.
Turning right is so counterintuitive. I don't even know how you know how to do it.
That's what I've done all my life, so I'm fine with that.
That's true. Yeah. I forgot about that.
The ovals are different to me.
That's right. It is normal for you.
One of the reasons, and this is, you won, and we're all learning about you and hearing your story, and they said, well, you have done most of your races more similarly to what you were in, and they said you had the advantage. Yep. This was what we were hearing last year.
Yeah, this is what I did in Australia and New Zealand. We had a lot of street races and road course races. So, I was probably more comfortable than the other guys driving around the walls. So I'm sure this year will be much more difficult now. Everyone's done it before.
Now, didn't you just pop in last year? You kind of like just popped in and then you went home. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
and
just
he wins the whole thing.
It was a one-off race with Trackhouse and Project 91 last year. So, yeah, to come in on a one-off and win is pretty rare, I think.
I think so too.
So you're getting to the end of that. Did you allow? I mean, you're a veteran. You've done this for a long time, even though a rookie of sorts here. But when you are getting close, do you picture the idea that I've got this, or do you try to stay in the moment in the lap?
Yeah, have to. And NASCAR is a sport that seems like anything can happen. And they have like an overtime where the race extends and they try and, keep the race entertaining. And, they had it last night and it was crazy. So, yeah, I was, just trying to get through it. Every lap was a adventure, I guess, last year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jane, we call Jane Pit Road Jane. Because she loves this stuff.
I love it.
And she hangs in the garage until they tell her she has to go back to where the seats are. If you were able to give Shane any advice for this year, what would you tell him?
Well, it's interesting. I would take a second look at the gear that you're wearing just to make sure there's a couple more vents because I know you all get hot when you're driving around, right? So maybe relook because I'm all about the fashion, and the zip that goes up. Maybe make it reversible, things like that. But as far as the driving, I think Shane's got it. What do you think about that?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, right. It does get hot in there. So.
See?
Yeah, but those suits are cooled from the inside, right? Don't you have water circulating through?
Yeah,
those?
you wear a cool shirt, they call it. So you have water that's sort of ventilated and cooled running across your body, but it doesn't beat the heat.
I find you can't wear those when you're clubbing. You know what I mean? You're going out on a Saturday night.
You can wear them. It's actually, they also double as like a sweatsuit and you lose weight. Okay, let's talk about the chrome bumpers. Chrome bumpers? No. Okay, never mind.
No, wrong race.
Pit Crew Jane forgot some of her lingo.
Right, but you were very impressive up to that point. I'm telling you right now. The race gets shortened last year to 75, right?
Yep.
That changes the strategy than if you're going the full race. Does it make it harder?
That made it harder for us, because it was meant to be 100 laps, I think.
Right.
So, we pitted to make it to the end and we went back to 18th or something. So, that changed it for us and made it a lot harder.
So who's doing the math? Because, you've got a pre-race plan. We're going to pit here, 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 and here. And, it doesn't always stick to that, obviously, especially in a race nobody has run before. So is it the crew chief or who's your mathematician?
Yeah, you have an engineer and a crew chief, so they just work it out all together and they got all the fancy programs. But I think when it changed like it did last year, it's all on the fly,
And as far as gas goes, more important than tires or less? I guess without gas, you're not going that far.
Yeah, I think they're all as important as each other around here,
But in a street race like that, I would assume your tires are lasting longer?
I guess to a normal oval, they do last longer.
I can't forget.
Last year, you had to have the flats and the slicks or the wets and the
wets and slicks,
Yeah,
so
and last year was...
it started wet,
Yeah, and you switched them all up. Did you, and I'm sorry I don't remember, but we were kind of standing close and there was where you guys would run into the wall and it was all full of tires. Did you run into any of those tire walls?
Not in the race, but in practice I hit it once,
did.
Just a little bit.
Now, we'll take a break for traffic here in a second and come back and more with Shane. You guys, if you want to jump on and ask the last year's street race champ anything, 312-591-8900 is the number. Running into tires or hay bales, that's better than a wall.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, especially around here. It's but a lot of people went into the tires and walls last year, and their concrete walls don't move, so not very forgiving.
Right. All right, where'd you grow up?
In Auckland, New Zealand.
All right, so in New Zealand, biggest sports hero as a kid is who?
Back then was probably Jonah Lomu was a rugby player, or Greg Murphy was race car driver.
And did you play any rugby yourself?
Yeah, I played rugby for a little bit when I was younger, but then couldn't afford to get hurt anymore. Yeah,
for people that don't understand rugby, you get together with your friends, you run into each other really hard, and then somebody bites your ear. And eventually somebody scores, and you've got yourself a winner or a loser. Stick around for a second. We have more to ask you. But I appreciate you doing this because, again, I know this is not your favorite thing to do, but this will be your favorite show. We're your friends. SVG is here.
Kind of like, maybe. We'll see. We're going to win you over in this commercial break. I know
he loves you already. Just got a couple of minutes left with SVG. Shane is here. Winner of last year's Chicago Street Race. And, of course, we're very happy to be your flagship for NASCAR again in 2024. How'd your life change after that race? Because, look, I know it's cool to be a big star in New Zealand and Australia, but a big star in America is a different level, right?
Yeah, well, I'm here racing full time this year, so it's changed a lot. But yeah, it's cool. I needed a new challenge, and it's been cool to come over here, try something different.
What's the coolest thing you spent with your race car money? First time you win a big race and you start to get that, and then there's some endorsement money thrown at you. Have you spoiled yourself? Did you buy anything?
I got a couple of cars at home, yeah.
Like a Volkswagen Beetle? What'd you get?
It's a Nissan Silvia and a Mitsubishi Lancer.
Oh.
It's interesting, too, because you drive cars for a living, so I get it. You want to drive a nice car, but like...
You're saying the guy from McDonald's wouldn't buy a hamburger?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Might want to,
Once you love a car, but a cool car is a cool car.
I know. I just got my first car ever this year, so...
What is it?
It was right after you won, I got a car because I was like, I'm going to start driving.
I was inspired. Yeah, do you ever let anyone else drive in your regular life?
Yeah, I don't like driving on the roads.
Really?
So who do you trust to drive?
Yeah, either my girlfriend or Donald drives us.
Oh,
so honestly, when you guys are driving, aren't you always going faster, slower, whatever, left, right? Like you don't hand out tips?
I struggle driving here because you all drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. See, that's the problem right there.
Well, how would that be if Shane caused an accident? That would be, we got an accident on Stevenson this morning. The guy that won the street race last year was going 40.
Headlines all over the country.
How about buddies you've made on this tour? Who would you consider a good friend now since you're racing full time?
I don't know. Everyone's been pretty nice.
Is that right?
Yeah, everyone's been welcoming and good racing on the track. And even when I had a problem on the track, everyone's fine after. So
I was told that NASCAR drivers are pretty giving in regards to, hey, if you ever need a tip on this or that.
Yeah. Everyone here seems pretty welcoming and nice. So.
Nobody's playing any pranks. Hey, Shane, try it with 3 tires.
Well, it is April Fool's Day.
Right. Yeah. Take
Today
one of those tires off.
Yeah.
All right. Last question from you, Pitt.
Well, because I was talking about the chrome horns, which was, now we talked about it out of the break, and that was like pushing somebody along with your bumper. But the bigger question is the runoff zones, because what I'm hearing from Donald is the runoff zones are different for every driver. What are the runoff zones here in Chicago at the street race?
They don't really have them. They just have the concrete walls. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. You try not to brake too late, really, but...
Yeah, your runoff zone will be Ogden Avenue.
Yeah. If you make
Drive.
a mistake here, you're in trouble.
So you'll be back this summer to defend.
Yep.
And they are talking about changing the course just a little bit.
Okay.
I thought it would be a good idea last year, and I'm going to present this again to the people at NASCAR, to have one Uber.
Yep.
One Uber in the race.
And?
With someone who is trying to just get somewhere. Maybe get to O'Hare.
Hopefully an out-of-towner. Maybe someone from New Zealand.
Right. So if you see an Uber, don't run them down.
All right.
Well, you got to do whatever you got to do.
And maybe a taxi.
And a taxi. Like an old school yellow taxi.
And a street cleaner. Big street cleaning truck. Yeah, maybe.
It's great to meet you, man. You're always welcome here. I think you're a great ambassador for the sport because you love it.
Yeah.
You seem like
glad you're here.
Not only do you seem like you have no ego, you seem like you have negative ego. Like you're not even, you don't even want people to know you won, but we want people to know. And we're thrilled you're here. So stay healthy, go fast, and we'll see you this summer.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Can I get into the pit next summer? I promise I won't be a bother.
He's the one to ask for tickets.
Sure.
No, I don't want tickets. I just want to be there. Put me to work. Can you give me a rush?
100%.
What?
All right, you're going to go outside, take a picture with Shane. I'll finish up this work in here.
Oh.
And you guys take several pictures for the yearbook. And
because we're early.
Yeah.
And you got to finish.
But Shane's got to run.
But we need a picture with you, too.
No, don't worry about it. You guys do it so he can get out of here. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
We'll see you back here soon.
I'm going to just go with these guys. You're fine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, to the next media
We'll start with a photograph.
interview.
If you try to leave, let me know.
Okay, fine, bye.
Okay. Thank you, Shane. Be well.